Countdown to Destruction is also a Power Rangers classic that serves as a grand finale for the Zonon era. Crossover episodes also tended to be highlights of the show, and this includes Power Rangers Wild Force Forever Red. More than 2 decades after Power Rangers celebrated its 10th anniversary with the crossover episode Forever Red, it's still the show's best episode. In just 23 minutes, Power Rangers was able to capitalize on the nostalgia in the best possible way, bringing together 10 Red Rangers from across different seasons for a crossover that was unlike anything the series had ever done. Crossover episodes were nothing new for the show by that point, yet Wild Force Forever Red delivered something different. Rather than combining 2 or 3 teams, it united all of the Red Rangers that existed up until that point. The only missing Red Ranger in Forever Red was Rocky, the second Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. While it is disappointing that Rocky did not appear in Forever Red, the Mighty Morphin side of the franchise was more than present in a crossover thanks to the original Red Ranger himself, Jason Lee Scott. From Mighty Morphin to Wild Force, the most iconic Power Rangers color was front and center in a crossover that felt like something out of a comic book. Forever Red was, I said, Red Ranger action figures were being played with, which suit the series perfectly, although some of the Red Rangers featured in Forever Red already knew each other. Others had never interacted. Forever Red allowed viewers to get crossovers and team-ups they never thought would happen, such as in space, Andros doing a combo attack with Lightspeed Rescue Carter. It also reunited Tommy Oliver and Jason Lee Scott for the first time since the Turbo movie. Trash movie, by the way. Forever Red was a great standalone episode, with a simple but engaging premise that saw Tommy and Andros putting together a team to stop Lord Zedd's Super Terra, which was on the moon, from being reactivated. Whereas most Power Rangers crossovers, particularly the other anniversary episodes, struggled with giving each other character a moment to shine. Forever Red treated Whereas most Power Rangers crossovers, particularly the other anniversary episodes, struggled with giving each character a moment to shine, Forever Red treated its Rangers with a lot of care and respect. Each Red Ranger gets at least one big moment. And most importantly, they are all written in the same way as they were in the respective original shows. In other words, Wes and Eric do not feel like different characters from Time Force. Just like Jason still feels like the Ranger audiences have been following since Mighty Morphin. The interactions between the Rangers are also all great. It is remarkable how much Forever Red accomplished within 23 minutes. Power Rangers crossovers usually come in 2 episodes, such as Drakina's Revenge or Reinforcements from the Future. The Forever Red team up made the most of its premise. It did not waste a single minute. The story could not have been more straightforward, and it takes only a few minutes for the action to start. The unmorphed fights are incredibly well choreographed, and the morphing call featuring all 10 Red Rangers were an instant classic Power Rangers moment. Considering how popular Forever Red still is to this day, not only among longtime fans of the franchise, but also with general audiences. It can be surprising that Power Rangers never tried to do a second version of this crossover. However, there are a few elements that make Forever Red impossible to replicate. Firstly, the numbers added up perfectly, so that the 10th anniversary special would feature 10 Red Rangers, which was the exact number of the Red Rangers in the franchise as a Wild Force, when not considering Rocky's time as Red. If it were to be a Forever Red Part 2, Power Rangers will have to pick up which Red Rangers will be involved, and which would need to be left out. Bringing more than 10 will also be difficult in terms of logistics. As today it's always tricky for TV shows to bring back actors who are no longer part of it. This also highlights how impressive Forever Red was. Even the actors who could not shoot the episode alongside the main cast were still incorporated into the story. Namely, Lost Galaxy Red, Alien Red joining the fight later on. There have been 15 main Red Rangers since Forever Red, meaning a new version of the crossover will have more than 20 Red Rangers to choose from. Given how the first Forever Red was a celebration of the saga's first 10 years, it would be interesting to see a Forever Red 2 focus solely on Rangers from the past 10 years or so as well. Part of what makes the Forever Red crossover episode so special is the nostalgia that came with it. But the Power Rangers has built a legacy that goes beyond the 1990s and the early 2000s. Cosmic Fury's ending may have been the end of the saga's current chronologically, which is why now would actually be the perfect time for a new Forever Red, celebrating the franchise's recent history. Newer viewers may have grown up having scenes like SPD or Samurai as their definitive Power Rangers, which is something a Forever 2 could lean into. There are also beloved Red Rangers from relatively recent seasons that never got to appear in crossovers and could shine in a new Forever Red. Regardless, the original Forever Red remains the show's best, most nostalgic episode. We all know that Forever Red is everyone's most talked about team-up specials of all time. And I just feel like, to me, that special carried the legacy, it served the legacy of future team-up specials. Some were done right, and some were just not good. And especially that crappy legendary battle. Nothing about it made sense. Even Dimensions in Danger was like a Tommy show, which is a red flag to me. I feel like it overshadowed all of the Rangers that never got their shine, especially Gia. But I think if Boom Studios were to make a Forever Red Part 2, I think the comic would do a lot better than the live action version, because sometimes the writers can just be a little bit more cringy. Because we're living in a new age nowadays, is that no matter how many times they write like certain specials, it can either be good or bad. But honestly, personally, I feel like if they were to make a part 2, the writing has to be good. And we all know it's going to end up being woke, because that's what they all use the term nowadays. So, but still, you get the point. I mean, we're just getting off the SAG strike last year, so I highly doubt it's going to end up happening. But it'll make sense in the comics, you know? I think it'll definitely work. So, link to the article will be down below. I'm going to catch y'all